In the human design system, I have an undefined spleen. And today I want to talk about splenic amplification as someone with emotional authority. I think everyone is familiar with the phrase holding on to what isn't good for you. And that's obviously true. If you come around me with a healthy spleen, I'm going to sit on your lap. Alternatively, I've heard it said undefined spleens feel no fear. I used to strongly disagree with that until recently, but I think it requires some nuance. So recently, I flew in a plane pretty close to a hurricane, and we had to descend pretty rapidly to avoid the storm. It got pretty bad, and at one point, a woman stands up and screams, "We're dropping too fast." Not a single person said, "Hey, calm down, shut up, sit down," because we were all kind of thinking the same thing. So in that moment, I was terrified, and I turned to my right and I see my friend with a defined spleen just like nodding off, watching her movie, completely unbothered by this whole situation. I point out these two experiences, the feel good and the fear, to highlight that it's really easy to confuse those things with the emotional process. Fear being an emotion, after all. In that moment, on the plane, I recognized that survival fear is not part of my inner authority. I was amplifying everyone else's fear. It's not like the solar plexus doesn't feel fear. It's just a different kind of fear. I'm a 35, 36. My fear is about an experience. The emotion that's mine is embarrassment, and anyone who knows me knows that I am well equipped to handle that. And so in that respect, I think undefined spleens really don't feel fear, just not their own fear. So how is this confusing for someone with emotional authority? At the beginning of my process, whenever I was around someone who felt good, I took that feeling of being calm as emotional clarity. Same with survival fear. It's an emotion, so it's coming from my solar plexus, right? I think whether you have an undefined spleen or not, this speaks to the larger process of deconditioning, a big part of which has been cataloging my inner experience so that I can disidentify with all my open centers, in this case, the spleen. Ultimately, I want to be clear about what my frequency is so I can live that rather than the feel good or survival fear I'm taking in from outside. As the world deteriorates, there's more and more fear. But when I know who I am, I don't need to be influenced by it.